Okay, this is going to be a quick presentation on the parable of the budding of the fig tree. So I'm going to start off by reading Matthew 24:32 through 34, and then we'll kind of go into it from there. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and puts forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. So the Bible uses the fig tree symbolically several times. Within the context of the parable, it represents Israel. The budding of the fruit, or the figs, on the tree represent the rebirth of Israel. When it talks about one generation passing, it means about 70 to 80 years, approximately. I could be wrong on that, but that seems to be the general consensus. However, no matter how you slice it, that means the culmination of biblical prophecy is about to begin. It means we are in the end times and all that entails, but it also means the good news that Jesus will be coming back soon. Now, to put this all into context, the nation of Israel was dispensed throughout the entire world, and it ceased to be a nation for over 1,000 years. That's a long time, 1,000 years. So if you look at how small this country is, it's really insignificant compared to the rest of the world. This is just literally a miracle that they all came together again. I mean, historically, this has never happened before. So to reinforce this point, let's take a look at other cultures or nations in the entire history of the world. I've studied a bit of history, so let's compare the miracle of Israel coming back to form a nation again to other historical examples. So, for example, if you look at modern France, it once was a Celtic country before the rise of the Roman Empire. Those ancient peoples had a kind of empire that stretched as far as Anatolia, which is now called Turkey. France back then was called Gaul. These were the same people written about in Galatians. So what happened to Israel would be kind of like a bunch of French people moving back to Turkey, taking it back over again, and making it French. I know the French were not technically Celtic by a modern standard, but I'm simply, simplifying the conversation so I don't lose anyone with the point. So at once upon a time it was called Gaul, and it was Celtic, like the Galatians. Put another way, that would be like the USA becoming all Native American again. That kind of thing in history only happened once, and that is when Israel became a nation again in 1948. So if you count 80 years from 1948, that puts us about 2028. But I'm not date setting. I'm not saying that's when all this will happen or not. I'm simply trying to give people a general idea of how close we are to the prophecy fulfilling itself. So, yeah, we're really close to the end. It's like so close, it could happen any time now. And that's the budding of the fig tree.